All right, aluminum. Here's aluminum, and that thing shiny.
Yes, it is.
Here's and, aluminum pot.
And this is what I got a question. Yeah, because how do I know it's not stainless steel? Like if I'm not really into that, and I don't really know what I'm looking for, what's something I can look for? Is it more stainless steel will be more shiny, more pricey of course, but what's the main difference between those two?
Well, we're gonna discuss that, but
okay.
Visual speaking, don't just look like a soda can.
Yeah, it does.
All right. So stainless steel won't never look like a soda can.
Okay.
So that's the difference. Most soda cans are made of aluminum. All right. The pros with aluminum, you could do this almost the same thing you could do with a cast skillet, but watch this, Brandon. What's this? Can I do this with the other one?
No, you can't.
Why?
It's really light.
This is light. Aluminum is very cheap too. This is a cheap pot. This is probably like the cheapest pot they make. So you really can't buy them in stores no more.
That's what I'm about to say. It's been a long time since I even seen an aluminum pot. Like I kind of forgot about them.
Yeah. So, you only see an old person will pull out an aluminum pot and cook it. Yeah, but it's a cheap pot. Now, one positive thing is about aluminum, it heats up quick. Brandon, you can put a match at the bottom of this whole pot and burn, hit up quick.
I got you.
So it's very reactive to heat. Yeah. So when let's say, okay, you got your,
like I said, the last time I've seen one, it's probably at the campground. Somebody was camping and they pulled one of them out.
All right, you got your, hold on, aluminum pot, cast iron. All right, if you want to cook syrup some chicken right quick, which one will create the best? No, fry up some chicken. Which one are fried chicken?
I'm gonna go aluminum. I might go aluminum. I'll probably go aluminum if I'm gonna fry some chicken. But I can see if you go cast iron.
Why would you go aluminum?
Just because it'd be quick and easy. Like I say, sometimes if I'm doing something, I'm like, okay, what's gonna be the easiest cleanup? The easiest storage, like putting stuff away, I'll probably go aluminum because I don't even care about tearing the pot up. It's not none of that stuff. But if I'm using my good cast iron to fry some chicken, I'm gonna have to store the oil. I'm gonna have to clean it up, or however I'm gonna do it. It's
what
just
do you mean store the oil? You still got to store the oil in this one.
But if I pour oil in there to fry some chicken, after I fry the chicken, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna let it sit.
No, you got to drain. You go drain off both of them.
But which one is going to be easier to clean up? Because after I pull that oil off, I'll rinse that aluminum out real quick. But that cast iron, I'm going to have to do some work just to make sure I get everything out of it.
All right. Okay. Brandon.
Yeah.
Let's think back to the 70s.
Okay.
Your grandma, which pot she go fry some chicken?
You're going to do the cast iron.
Okay, but you picked the aluminum.
Yes, I'm a millennial. But go ahead.
Since we talked about this early, that piece of chicken gonna be refrigerated. So when Brandon
drop the temperature,
Brandon dropped that cold piece of chicken. So in here, that oil gonna drop right along with it.
Right, correct.
And what happens when you cook in low oil, Brandon? What do that do?
You said when you cook in low oil, like a low level.
Yeah,
low temperature. It's not gonna cook properly. It's not gonna cook properly. It's gonna throw your cooking time off. So say your chicken took 7 minutes or 14 minutes to cook fully, depending on the size of the chicken. It's gonna throw it off because your temperature done went down to 100 degrees, maybe.
Correct, but more importantly, you gonna get some greasy chicken.
Oh, okay, I see. That's a good point. See, you dropping them major keys right there.
All right, I'm gonna explain to people. The key to frying is, when you fry chicken, you want the grease to be hot enough to crisp the outside.
Correct. Very
fast.
Correct.
Once you crisp the outside, the oil is less likely to penetrate inside the meat.
Correct. But that's why I say I'm not gonna say a purist, but you care about the pots, you care about how you cooking your food, you care about how the food turns out, because that does matter to you. Like I say, can you eat the chicken if the temperature drops and it's not as crispy? And you can taste the imperfections in the outside.
Now you may not take it's a chance you may not taste it, but when you bite into it, you thought that was chicken juice, but that was grease coming out. You know,
and that's a big difference, right?
So, if you ever had some greasy chicken, it's usually the temperature was too low.
Yeah, you're right.
So it didn't fry the outside, or it got enough time to get inside the meat.
Right. Sometimes I'll do that with fries. Like if you put a bunch of fries in and your oil is hot, it'll drop the temperature so much if you put too many fries in, and your fries will come out a different, texture. Like when you bite into it, you can kind of taste the difference.
Correct. And if Brandon got those processed fries, that don't got no spray on it, that stuff can leak inside, and the inside be a little greasy too.
You're right. But see what I'm saying? You care about all that kind of stuff, and you know about it. You're knowledgeable about it.
Brandon, everybody has some greasy chicken before.
Okay, that's true. But is anybody going to do the research to figure out why these things are happening, or why my chicken or my fries taste a certain way? What's really going on? Or are we just going to eat it?
Nah, yeah, you're just gonna eat it. It just had grease stains in the back seat. Out the box. That's all it means.
Right. Or when we go to the Asian restaurant, we care why it tastes so, greasy, and why we full, and the MSG and just all those things. People don't really care. They just consume it and just go about their business.
Brandon did make a good point. He see a lot of these pots capping. I would say yes. I bought this pot because I was dreaming. If I have to cook outside, I can just put this on like a burner. It heat up very quick. There's green beans up in there.
Right. There you go. Right.
and it's light.
Yeah, and it's light.
Now, some of the cons with aluminum pots is reactive. Okay. This means, according to what you put in there, some of this metal could turn off in your food.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's a downside. Like aluminum is not necessarily good for you either. So I was wondering if you was going to get there. And like you say, some of the stuff in the pans, whether it's aluminum or the other ones we're going to talk about, the chemicals go into your food. But go ahead.
Brandon, do you use deodorant, Brandon?
Yes, I do.
What is the brand name?
And I'm glad. It's like a natural one that has no aluminum in it, because
shit.
Okay, keep going. My wife is more holistic doctor anyway, so of course she's conscious of that kind of stuff, because if you rolling on deodorant with aluminum in it, sooner or later your chances are higher, I guess I'd say, that you can get cancer. That's just a real thing. So a lot of deodorants try to say, well, we're non-aluminum stick deodorants, right? They do. So if you ever see Brandon playing basketball, his own probably stink. So right. That's another thing. When you get the deodorant, you're gonna have to apply it more often, because it's not gonna hold you like the other deodorant.
So you better watch out. So, but he getting less of those chemicals in him. So you see the drawback. Correct. He can live longer, but you may get embarrassed if somebody do you wrong.
Right.
All right. Just like cast iron, no acid in this, because it could create a reaction.
Got you.
I'll put no dishwasher. I'll probably put no dishwasher because you don't know what chemicals will be on it, and you may get a reaction.
Yeah. And like I say, the pod that you use or the chemicals that you put in the dishwasher sprayed on there might have a reaction to it. So I get why you put that on there.
And one of the cons, it cools quicker. Now, a positive, it heats up quick, but a con is cools quicker. So this is very conductive.
Yeah.
So when Brandon put his cold piece of chicken in here, frying it up,
it's gonna drop.
It's gonna drop.
Got you.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing.
You're right.
And that's with any piece of chicken.
Yeah, you're right.
Any fried chicken. And you can't overload your chicken pot, because Brandon, when you in a tub and you fill it up all the way, and if you get in, what'll happen?
The water level will raise up, and it may overflood.
Okay.
Or overflow.
The same thing happened to your chicken. When you fill it up all the way, it rises up and overflow inside the chicken.
But that's what I was going to ask you. Do you shallow fry your fried chicken, or whatever you frying? What's the best measure? I mean, what's the best process of frying a chicken to you?
Corn, how much money I got and how much grease? Shit, grease.
That's a good point.
Oil ain't cheap.
You're right. You're right.
You know,
especially if you get a good kind of oil, like avocado oil or some of them other ones.
Who frying chicken in avocado oil, Brandon? You know, the chicken costs 10, but the oil costs 50. Who's frying chicken in avocado oil?
You though?
You can pan fry it. You put a little thin
yeah,
little,
there you go. Right.
Like that.
But you're not gonna fill it up this much avocado oil.
Yeah, it matters. Corn, how much money I got? Oil costs the same prices more than gas now. A gallon gas $3.
Right.
Or this big $5.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Come from the same place. All right, it took me a little while to find an aluminum pot that's worth posting. You can see this is a aluminum pot. It is cast aluminum, guys. It's at a good price. This is tradition. This style of pot is traditionally used in Hispanic homes. But guys, these high walls, you could do about anything in this pot that you want. Look at all these sizes. You could do about anything in this pot you want to. You man, this could fry some good fish up. And it's a great price, man. Hit the link below. Even tells you how to season in this pot on the website, so you can order this straight from Amazon. Me and Brandon will get 50 cents if you buy it from us off our link. But guys, nice pot right here. Check it out. Very nice. Cook anything.